and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on our second Math Monday. My name is Celia, and I'm the Youth Services Librarian here at the Willis L. Miller Library in Valdosta. We're part of the South Georgia Regional Library System. Today's Math Monday topic is patterns. So, what is a pattern? A pattern is just an arrangement of things in a logical way. And the things that you're arranging, well, those can be just about anything. You can arrange letters, numbers, symbols, shapes. You can even arrange physical objects like blocks, or you could make a pattern out of a movement. Here's an example. I'm going to use my hands to make a pattern. Here we go. So this pattern will be clap, clap, snap. Clap, clap, snap. Clap, clap. What do you think the next thing in this pattern will be? That's right. After you go clap, clap, the next part of this pattern is snap. You can make more complex patterns than that though. This video is going to focus on the more simple ones, and there will be a follow-up video for older children that talks about more complex patterns. I've got some visual aids here. Here's an example of shapes and colors being used in a pattern. You'll notice this pattern follows some rules, which tells us how many shapes are in each set. So triangle, circle, rectangle. And then it starts over again. Triangle, circle, rectangle. The other rule is the color. Each set of 3 shapes is the same color. So our last set is missing the very last shape. What shape do you think it's missing? You're right, the rectangle. Now, this pattern also has colors in it, and those colors matter. It may look different on your screen, but the colors of these shapes are blue, green, yellow, and orange. So, what color do you think the missing rectangle would be? That's right, it would be orange. Now, if any older kids are still watching, they might even be able to guess what color the next set will be, because the colors are going in a specific order. You mix blue and yellow to get the color green. After yellow, we have orange. And the set that would come after that one would be red, because you mix yellow and red to get orange. Let's look at another pattern. So this pattern only has 2 elements. It's got books and musical notes. You see we're missing something in this bottom corner. What do you think it would be? That's right, we're missing a musical note. Now, one of the fun things about this pattern is you can look at it a few different ways. If you're reading it from left to right, you would be reading it as book, note, book, note, book, note. So that's reading it horizontally, just across. But you can also look at this pattern vertically, or up and down. If you're looking at this pattern vertically, you would see a column of 3 books, a column of 3 notes, a column of 3 books, a column of 3 notes, a column of 3 books, and then our 2 notes, so we're still missing that last note. So the identity of this missing thing in the corner doesn't change, but how you read the pattern does change, depending on whether you're looking at this pattern horizontally, book, note, or vertically, column of books, column of notes. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind when you're looking at patterns. All right, we've looked at some simple shape and color patterns, and then a pattern that had pictures in it. Let's see what other patterns we could find. If you're wanting to tie this into literacy, you can look at patterns in words. I'm going to adjust the camera here in just a moment so that we can look at some of those word patterns. And then I'll continue speaking. Words can have patterns too. A lot of words follow patterns when it comes to spelling and sound. We're going to look at some examples. Now notice we've got 2 sets of rhyming words here. And these words can be sorted into piles. But be careful. I did include a word that rhymes, but does not quite fit our word pattern. Can you spot it? Let's start moving these words into their piles. So we have hat. We could put that one with mat, and cat, and sat, and vat. All of these words end in the same 2 letters. They also all rhyme. Let's look at our other set of words. Fall, wall, hall, doll, and call. Now, those words all rhyme too, but one of them looks just a little bit different than the others in its group. It's this one here, doll. If you look closely at doll and compare it to the other words in its group, doll has a D, an O, and then 2 L's. The rest of the words in this group have an A followed by 2 L's. So, if we wanted to make a pattern using these words, doll would look a little funny if we're looking at the last 3, but if we're just looking at the last 2 letters, we could keep it. Now, how could we pattern these 2 word sets? We can alternate them. So, vat, fall, hat, wall, sat, hall. What would would be the next word in this pattern? We would need another word that ends in an AT. Can you think of another word that ends in an AT? How about bat? Well, we still have an empty space here. We would need another word that ends in ALL. Can you think of what might fit there? That's about everything for our video on patterns for younger children. What do you think? Could you make your own pattern? I'm sure you can. And if you do, I'd love to see it.